like you. Be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Diorpop. What if a simple moment on a variety show, something that seems light and ordinary at first, suddenly turns into something completely unexpected? A moment that begins with casual laughter, slowly shifts into something awkward, spontaneous, yet warm, and in the end, leaves a deeper impression than anyone could have imagined. The long-awaited news has finally arrived. Jungkook and Jimin are confirmed to appear on a variety show hosted by Choo Sung Hoon. But this isn't just another guest appearance. It's not simply about two global idols sharing the same screen. It's about the atmosphere that unfolds, revealing sides of them we rarely get to see, more relaxed, more honest, and completely unfiltered. Ever since the short preview clip was released, fans' excitement has skyrocketed. Everyone began wondering, what kind of dynamic will we see? Could this be the moment where we witness them not as performers on stage, but as individuals genuinely enjoying each other's presence? And as it turns out, it was even more than that. In one clip, everything starts off casually. The conversation flows naturally, light laughter fills the space, and it all feels like a typical variety show setting. Until suddenly, an unexpected request changes everything. Clean your ears. The sentence sounds simple, but it's enough to make Jungkook pause. With a slightly confused yet polite expression, he repeats, "Oh, clean ears," as if trying to make sure he heard it correctly. But instead of moving on, Choo Sung Hoon calmly adds, "I want to try it." At that moment, the atmosphere shifts. There's a brief silence, slightly awkward, as if everyone is processing what just happened. But before the tension can grow, soft laughter breaks through, easing the moment. "Why are you laughing?" the host asks. And that's when the truly unexpected happens. Jimin, who had been quietly observing, suddenly interrupts with a comment no one saw coming. "I don't know why, but I think a kiss would be better." For a split second, time seems to freeze. Not just because of what he said, but because of how naturally it came out, unscripted, unplanned, completely unfiltered. Even Jimin himself looks surprised. He lets out a small laugh, trying to cover the awkwardness. That was really unexpected. And that's exactly where the beauty of the moment lies. No script, no acting, just a genuine, real-time reaction. Choo Sung Hoon responds lightly, wrapping up the moment with humor, right? Let's just think of it like YouTube. A simple comment, but enough to bring the atmosphere back to laughter and ease. On the surface, it might seem like a small, trivial exchange. But for many fans, this is where the real charm exists. We see Jungkook's innocence in his confusion, Jimin's spontaneous honesty, and a dynamic that feels alive precisely because it isn't staged. But the surprises don't stop there. In another equally fascinating scene, things take an even more unusual turn. Jungkook is seen using his phone flashlight, carefully shining it into Choo Sung Hoon's ear, helping Jimin clean it. It sounds strange. It looks even stranger. And yet, it somehow works. Jungkook does it with complete focus, as if it's an important mission. Meanwhile, Jimin can't hide his reaction. He's amused, slightly embarrassed, and almost in disbelief that they're actually doing this on camera. And oddly enough, it's from this very strangeness that warmth begins to emerge. There's no distance, no pretending, just pure human interaction, awkward, funny, but sincere. They're not trying to look perfect. They're simply being themselves. And maybe that's exactly what makes this moment feel so different. Beyond the variety show, during their interview on the Elvis Duran show, the members of BTS spoke openly about their journey. In a quiet yet meaningful moment, Jungkook turns to look at Jimin with a soft smile, a small gesture, but one that speaks volumes without words. Jimin then shares something honest. He explains that perhaps it's time for them to show their true selves to their fans. Not a polished version, not a controlled image, but who they really are now, changed, grown, and evolving. It wasn't just a statement. It was a hope that fans would accept them even as they change. That beyond the stage personas, there are real people with emotions, stories, and growth. With a soft, slightly nervous laugh, Jimin admits they're curious about the fans' reactions and looking forward to it at the same time. When talking about returning to the stage as a group, both Jimin and Jungkook acknowledge the nervousness they feel. Time has passed, things have changed, and standing together again is no longer just routine. It's emotional. It's meaningful. It's a reunion. For them, it's a chance to return, not as who they used to be, but as who they've become. Jungkook emphasizes that this change isn't a weakness, it's a challenge. They continue to practice, maintain their physical condition, and strive to bring the same energy they had at the beginning of their careers, now with deeper maturity. And when you piece all of these moments together, the absurd jokes, the spontaneous comments, the heartfelt conversations, you begin to see a bigger picture. Behind the global spotlight, they are still human. They laugh at random things. They feel awkward. They say things they didn't plan. And from all of that, something genuine is born, something that cannot be faked. Maybe that's why this moment feels so unforgettable. Not because of how big the show is, not because of who's involved, but because of those small, honest, unplanned moments that feel the most real. So when that day finally comes, maybe we won't just laugh at their unexpected behavior. Maybe we'll feel something deeper, a sense of closeness, a sense of warmth, and perhaps a new understanding that they're not just idols we admire from afar, but people who, in many ways, are not so different from us. If you feel the same way, don't forget to share your thoughts. And of course, stay tuned to Diorpop. See you in the next story.